Welcome to Hawks and Lavender Rose, a heart-centered podcast dedicated to community through the foundation of love, trust, and advocacy for conscious living. I am your host, Shauna Gulbrand. I, along with my guests and guest co-hosts, are excited to bring you topics that affect our everyday lives as we share wisdom, awareness, experience, and the practice of vulnerability. Welcome to Hawks and Lavender Rose. I am your host, Shauna Gulbrand. Thank you so much for being here today, for tuning in, for listening, for watching. I really do appreciate you. Today is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Being home and practicing social distancing, I'm losing track of days, but I believe today is Tuesday, March 22nd. Today there is a new moon in Aries, my sign, which makes me really excited that things are starting to come into my sign. As my listeners know, I do not practice astrology, but damn do I follow people who do. So the Aries new moon, March 24th, moving toward change. That is everything that's been happening within me over the past 6 months. A new way of doing things, clarity, look at things in a new light, exactly what I've been doing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today. New solutions, focus on new projects or ideas, possible miscommunication or argument. I can guarantee you that there won't be any argument right here with myself, but I may miscommunicate. I don't know why I just said that. That was really kind of weird. Almost everything here speaks so deeply to what is going on and what has been going on within me. I'm doing a lot of soul work, a lot of internal changing that's been happening. I look at it as I have taken off rose-colored glasses that I've been wearing for far too long. And I'm seeing things, people, situations, my life with so much more clarity. It's beautiful. It's uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie about that. There have been some really uncomfortable things that I'm still currently going through, but it's still beautiful. So Aries, this is your moon, Aries, and it's an important time of planning for you. What do you want to happen? Use this time wisely to plan and map out where you want your path to follow. Where are your shifts leading you? What needs to change? Channel the new moon in order to get to a place of knowing the answers and leading your path. So that was specific to Aries. The first thing I read is just the energy around the Aries new moon, which is today. So again, moving toward change, a new way of doing things, clarity, look at things in a new light, new solutions, focus on new projects or ideas. All right, so in front of me, I have many papers and my journal. Sometimes I just grab a pad of paper and I write. I always have a pad of paper next to me. And this morning was no exception. And I thought to myself, well, why am I not writing in my journal? It's okay. There's no right or wrong. All I'm saying is I took 5 pages of journal notes this morning. But I needed to get some things out. I needed to understand why I've been doing what I've been doing lately, why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling lately. And with everything that's going on with the coronavirus and social distancing and staying at home, it's been kind of confusing. I have mixed feelings and emotions every day, and every day they're different. I am dealing, and I'm not alone here, we are all dealing with levels of grief in regards to what is no longer in our lives. The past several months, and even more recently, I have discovered, I've been ignoring the fact and now coming to terms with the fact that the universe has been trying to push me in a different direction. And this is all part of it. I have written here that the universe has been doing a great job in drawing my awareness back to me. So what I discovered this morning is that I have been focused on extrinsic goals, and I've also been looking outwards for needs to be filled. Instead of looking within, I'm turning outwards. And it's just left me in this feeling of chaos. That's what I call it. I call it chaos in my body. I've been spending far too much time checking in on the headlines. I have been spending far too much time on social media. In fact, the past 2 days, it doesn't matter what time of the day it was, but I promised myself from that moment until the following day, I was not going to open social media. And I didn't. What was interesting, though, is we are such creatures of habit that every time I picked up my phone, not every time, but there were times that I picked up my phone and I hit either Instagram or Facebook, and I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? And I quickly got out of it because I made that promise to myself. So really what I'm trying to tell you or share with you now is that it's very easy for us to be constantly on the external, right? With all the news that's going on, instant news, instant notifications about everything, social media. It was becoming too overwhelming for me, so I had to call it all back. Spent an hour in meditation this morning and then time writing. It was very much needed. So basically what's been happening that I'm finally starting to accept and embrace is that there is work for me to do, and I've been avoiding it. And the signs are all there. Whether it's this person moved in this direction, this person moved in that direction, the plans that I had laid out didn't work out, they didn't, whatever it is. It's time for me to get my shit together and really focus on what it is I'm supposed to be doing here, my mission, my purpose. Yes, plans have been thwarted, but plans have been thwarted for pretty much all of us. And I don't want to sit here in victimhood. I'm not asking, oh, why is this happening to me? When, if we look around, everything is happening to everyone. Instead, I choose to, and I'm looking at my notes that I wrote, I choose to see objectively on how I've been avoiding the real work that I want to do. My mission, my purpose, why I'm here, what I'm supposed to be creating, developing, offering, what my personal development is, how I am deepening connections, and how I am being of service to the community. Those are all my intrinsic goals. Again, what I've realized is, what I've come to the awareness around, I've been looking for validation. I've been looking externally. I've been distracting myself with the news and social media when I really want to be focusing on my goals. And to be honest with you, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about today. I just decided to jump on and do a recording and see how it goes. A practice that I have been doing, and I invite you to try it on for size, see how it fits. When I do notice that my body feels chaotic and that I have been looking externally to fulfill whatever need from whomever or whatever, I call my spirit back. It's as if I'm calling my energy back. I'm calling my spirit back to my heart center. I call my spirit back from extrinsic goals such as image or status. I call my spirit back from the opinions of others and remember or remind myself that I am my own authority. I call my spirit back from the chaos that I have been experiencing. I call my spirit back from social media and the news. And I call my spirit back from fear, worry, and anxiety. When I do that, I literally feel myself coming back to the present moment. 10 years ago, I was always living like that. I didn't have a meditation practice. I didn't have the levels of self-awareness that I have now. And when I find myself in this place, I I reflect on how I used to actually live my life like that all the time. It was just one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, never taking any time to go within and to question and understand and feel and process. That is what is needed right now, especially with everything going on. It's that coming to stillness and calling your spirit back from anything external, extrinsic. For me, it helps me to ground, center, and get back to my goals and where I see myself going in life. It helps me to build more confidence in myself and to have faith in myself. And interestingly enough, I wrote some other notes here. Yeah, I'm a big note taker. I love taking notes. Some of the notes that I wrote this morning are my intrinsic goals, which are my personal development, my self-discovery, deepening connections with the people I am in relationship with, and to be of service to the community. So I took a moment because I'm going to be honest with you, I've been really bugging to do a recording for the podcast, but I hold myself back. What am I going to talk about? Is anybody going to be interested in what I'm talking about? Because everything is going on with coronavirus right now. So I took my intrinsic goals and I felt into them. Personal development, what I'm doing right now. I am stepping outside of my comfort zone and I am doing something that I feel really passionate about, and that is speaking to a group of people. To me, that is part of my personal development. And each time I do it, I become more confident and I feel more comfortable. Eventually, that's going to be my comfort zone, so I'm going to have to find something outside of that. Deepening connections. I hope some of my people will watch this or will listen in. And my hope is that something I say here will help you connect deeper with yourself, and that you and I, deepen our connection a little bit more, or the collective deepen their connection a little bit more. And in regards to being of service to the community, I thought, okay, well, I know what I like to do. I know what I want to do. How can I be of service to the community? That's another reason why I sat down here, got out of my comfort zone, and decided to record a podcast. Because I want to be of service to you in some way. And if that means one word I say made a difference in your life, then I have fulfilled my goal. So these make me really happy. Even more so when I realize, again, that I've been externally looking for the validation, looking for the green light, looking for someone else to fulfill a need. I come back to what's really, really important. In all of this, I realized that over the course of my lifetime, I give meaning to people and objects and experiences that sometimes is not reciprocated. And what I've noticed is I experience unnecessary suffering because of it. I have been giving meaning to something, and when I don't get anything in return, I feel abandoned. I feel left out. I feel unworthy, not good enough. This all happened this morning. So now, it's about now for me integrating a new practice into my life of becoming aware when I am giving meaning to a person, an object, a group, an experience, whatever the case may be. And I don't know, this is new, so I'm not really sure what my practice is, but the number one step is to become aware of when I'm doing it. And I'm going to get back to you about that because I really don't know what my other steps are, but this is something that happened this morning that I wanted to share with you. I had a lovely conversation with a friend this morning, and from that, I took to trust who I am and who I am not, and not to minimize what I know, and not to minimize the trust that I have in myself. This conversation reminded me of doing what is right for me, even if that makes people feel uncomfortable. To just be me. And I invite you to be you. And to trust that, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to save that for another conversation. I wear a mantra band that says, let your light shine. It's right there. And I've noticed that I've let my light dull because one of the reasons I give meaning to something. Do I want to go there? Wow, I'm like, what's happening is I'm processing things as I'm talking. Letting my light shine means being consciously aware of my intrinsic goals. And when I am looking externally for all of the things that I mentioned earlier, letting my light shine means trusting who I am and who I am not. It means maximizing what I know and having complete faith and trust in myself. Some questions that I wrote for myself this morning is, what do I want to happen? Where do I want my path? I have here, where do I want my path to follow? I don't like that. Where do I want my path to lead? That's a better question. So ask yourself these questions. What do you want to happen? Even though we have some restriction right now, and it's for our safety, I get that. What is it that you want to happen? What sort of intrinsic goals do you have for yourself? What are what's your personal development like? And what connections do you choose to deepen? It's about relationships, right? So intrinsic goals are personal development, deepening relationships are connections, and being of service to the other. Service to the community. So what do you want to happen? These are questions I asked myself this morning. Where do you want your path to lead? Where are your shifts leading you? And I have here, where are my shifts leading me? And it's all back to myself. It is to me and expressing what I've been dying to express to the world without anybody's help. Because I am the magician. I have all the resources that I need. I have exactly what I need. And I mentioned earlier how the universe has been moving me in a certain direction. I mean, I don't want to get into this in a way that, oh, this person abandoned me and this person abandoned me. It's not about that. I'm not a victim. I'm not saying that. I chose to take a step back and look at it objectively that, yeah, the universe took this person out of my way and this person out of my way and this group out of my way and this circumstance out of my way to offer me space. And then what am I going to do with the space? For me, it just keeps coming back here. And what needs to change? That was a great question. I do have written here that I want to live fully in my own power. Unapologetic expression of my soul's light. I choose to distance myself from biting, toxic people, regardless of who that upsets. You know, I've done a lot of work on releasing what people think, but I'm finding that it's still an issue. So I wrote here, I want to release the need to care what anyone thinks of me or what I do. But that just goes to me that I reflect on the extrinsic goals of status and image. And that does not bring lasting happiness. I remind myself that everything I need, I can give to myself. I wrote here that I want to have complete faith in my ability to create something meaningful in this world. Belief in myself, that is what I need to happen. Now, some of you may be listening and thinking, my God, you're sitting here doing a podcast. You must believe in yourself. Well, sure, I have the confidence to sit here and record myself and talk because it's what I love to do. But there are other things that I want to create, that I want to do, that I want to offer. And the belief in myself and my ability and other people's judgment, sadly, I'm saying this, is what has been holding me back. I'm not a victim, though I do sense abandonment. I have felt that. I do not see myself as a victim. Instead, I choose to see that the universe took these people out of my life for a reason. All of these shifts are leading me to the creation of something meaningful in this world. Where do I fit in? Where's my place? How am I different? And I would love your feedback about that, what you see, what you hear. When I asked myself, what needs to change? I came up with my perspective, my motivation. When I wrote my motivation, I knew what I was writing there. Oftentimes, I am motivated by wanting to please someone else or wanting someone else's attention. And again, this is another practice of reminding myself of what my motivation is before I do something, before I say something, before I write something, before I express something. So what needs to change, even though that's already a practice of mine, is to remind myself of what my motivation actually is and to be very clear before I act. My perspective, my belief in myself, my need for approval, my need or desire to fit in. Why do I need to fit in? I think being different is so much better. But yet, again, it's something I have to remind myself of. How and when I offer meaning to the people, objects, and experiences in my life. That's what I've decided needs to change, or that's what I decided this morning. Just reading through my notes here, I did go back. No, I'm not going to read that. I did go back to a little bit of victimhood there, but we'll just leave that out. What I did recognize is that I'm confused. I have a lot of different feelings and emotions going through my body depending on the day. I'm confused by the changes that are happening in the world, whether or not we're going to be able to go back to some semblance of normalcy, of what we knew as normalcy. I chose to honor the confusion this morning during my meditation, to just hold the tension of the confusion that I felt in my body. And I prayed for clarity. And I trust that, well, it's interesting because since I wrote that, I've had an abundance of clarity. So thank you. Thank you. I don't know why I look up. It's all in here. But I pray for more clarity and to understand what the universe is trying to do here, what I'm supposed to be doing, what they're giving there, what it is giving me opportunity to do. What do I want? What do I want? I wrote here that I feel chaos in my body because I keep looking externally for comfort, for validation, for some news of some kind. I'm looking externally for clarity and my own way forward. I'm allowing the decisions of others to affect my reasoning and my faith in myself. That's pretty powerful. I'm just realizing how powerful that was after I wrote it. The clarity, my way forward, it all comes from within. And my practice is to trust that. But in the meantime, I'm giving myself a break, and I'm giving all of you a break. If any of you have been experiencing this, we've had a lot going on in the world, in our country, in our city or our state, our city, our town, our household. My husband is a nurse, and he had his first COVID-19 patient this week. Things became very real for him and for our home. With all of the changes that are happening, it's super important for me, and I invite you to hold the tension of whatever it is you're feeling, and to trust that all your feelings are normal and natural. You don't have to change anything. Instead, I invite you to feel your way through stuff. Instead of avoiding what you're feeling and turning to social media or the news, put that down, put it out of the room, shut it off, and come to your heart home. Allow yourself to sit in stillness and to truly feel what it is you're feeling. That is how you're going to gain clarity. That is how you're going to know what needs to change. What is your way forward? How you want to shift? How your circumstances are asking you to shift. Okay, I think that's all I want to say today. My last question here, what do I want to teach? And right now, today, I want to teach how to reconnect to intrinsic goals, your internal goals, the goals that lead to long and lasting happiness versus the external. And yes, we thank God for the internet because it keeps us all connected, especially in this time where we can't be in each other's company. But maybe limit yourself to how much you take in. Or promise yourself that you're going to spend a certain amount of time focused internally, and ask yourself some of these questions that I posed to you today. All right, so I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to say right now, except that I appreciate you. I appreciate your listening and your watching and your openness to reflect, to go within, to process, and to feel. So thank you so much for being here today. You can find me on, here I am like, oh, avoid social media, but find me on social media first. You can find me under Shauna Gulbrand. I am Shauna Gulbrand on Facebook and Instagram, and that's how you can find me. And thank you so much for being here today. Wishing all of you health and happiness and love and abundance. And I look forward to talking to you again real soon.